All right, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Shabbat coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Bahashem, Amashiach, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in these scriptures. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I got a picture that I want to show, and then I'm going to get a couple of precepts. And of course, this is something I screenshotted from social media. It has a woman, giving her opinion, an Eve woman, Israelite woman. She's giving her opinion on this picture, and it says, "This is what the world needs: diversity and togetherness." And then you have some guy saying they grabbed our sisters, and hey man, this is the sentiment of the black woman out there. She feels like, hey, she'll be better off with any other nation of men, because she's played a part in the downfall of the nation of her men, and they feel like, hey, pretty much, man, it's a few reasons why they do this. They feel like they could do whatever the hell they want to do. They feel like the so-called black man in America doesn't have any power, and hey, this is all things, these are things that have happened in the past. But what do the scriptures tell you? There is no new thing under the sun. But the thing about this is, you women have liberty to do this wickedness, but the scriptures actually speak against this, and hey, the children that you have that are born from these intermarriage relationships, those children will be separated and taken care of when Yahweh Shah comes back. And I'll get the parable of the wheat and the tares, Lord willing. But hey man, this shit is going off, man. You women, you Israelite women don't understand, the only diversity that the world needs is for the Israelite men to have these women of the other nations. Now, for as far as what's wrong about it, when a woman takes on another man's seed, that is that man's seed. You're reproducing. You are now reproducing for another nation. And that's how the Israelite woman has been conquered. She's the concubine of Esau. She's the concubine of the other nations. But also, on the other hand, you actually have Jake, hey man, taking these heathen women down too. And the Lord isn't angry at Jake for that. The only thing that is wrong, that would be wrong, when the Israelite man was to deal with a woman of another nation, it would be the fact that, sometimes Jake would go off and worship their gods and turn away from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah to the hex of those women. So it's other than that, man, there's nothing wrong with an Israelite man dealing with the woman of the other nation, because that's just us spreading the seed. King David, King Solomon, Gideon, you name it. There are men of the Lord that had concubines, and there wasn't nothing wrong with it, man. But hey, this is totally unacceptable for you women, for the women of our nation. And these children will be put to death, man, when Yahweh Shah returns. There isn't going to be any sparing them. They're not Israelite children. Once you lay down with these men of these other nations and have children by them, those are their seed. That's their seed, man. People don't understand the importance of this, and the scriptures tell you in Numbers, when they were about to determine the pedigrees, the pedigree was determined by the father, not the mother. So what you're made of, and your nationality and all of that, man, your mother has nothing to do with that. So I'm gonna get the scriptures. Let's see, Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. This is Deuteronomy 7:1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. When Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them utterly and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. So even back, when the Lord was setting us up as a nation, even having a heathen woman was looked down upon. That's why they gave Moses some shit. They gave Moses shit about it. But was it going off? No. But you know what I'm saying? The Lord didn't want us dealing with them back then. He didn't want us being turned away from him. And a lot of times when we dealt with these women of other nations, that's what would happen. So that was the only thing that was wrong with it. But of course, you know, hey man, things change. You down the line, like I said, you have men of the Lord that actually had heathen women. Hell, Moses was one of them. But the purpose of the Lord telling us not to deal with them at this time was the purpose of him beginning that separation between us and the other nations. Once we were solidified as a nation, long as you knew how to handle it, it didn't really matter. And King Solomon, part of the reason he went off was because of them heathen women that he was dealing with, man. And King Solomon was Yahweh Shai, if you can receive that. Let's see. I'm going to go to verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that he may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. Hey, meaning basically what he told King Saul to do when he took over the Amalekites. But King Saul didn't do what the Lord told him. He wanted them utterly destroyed. The Lord didn't want us taking them women captive, nothing. Their cattle, nothing. The Lord told King Solomon and King Saul to destroy them all together. And he didn't do that, and that angered the Lord, man. But let's see. Going back up, that was the point of Deuteronomy 7:3. Hey man, the law still stands, man, and this particular precept applies to that picture. The Israelite woman ain't to be doing it at all. Because it's a lot. You got to think, man, during slavery, it was a lot of Edomite men that took Israelite women and impregnated them. So you have a lot of chocolate Edomites out there, man, that look like they real deal Jakes. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord's going to, separate the wheat from the tares himself when he gets here. Hey, man, because just us at face value of trying to read everybody's spirit, it would be hard to do. But even though the Lord has given us discernment, a brother can tell if somebody might be a chocolate Edomite, man. It's just, because it ain't about the flesh, it's their spirit. But the Lord ain't going to give us that task of doing that separating. He's going to do that himself. Let's see. Go down to verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Holy means to be separate. The Lord Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, getting into it, man, right now, you got, like I said, you got a lot of brothers that deal with Shedemites or heathen women. And it ain't nothing wrong with that, man, because the Israelite woman is completely bugged out of her fucking mind right now. Most of them. It's so far gone that they ain't no coming back. So brothers use wisdom, man. Hey, I'm going to just get with a woman that actually respects me and looks at me as the God I am, because we are gods. Psalms 82:6, the Lord said it himself. But we don't have that power, so our women don't look at us like they look at us like we ain't shit. Treat us like we ain't shit. But hey man, the Lord is slowly but surely going to change all of that. Like I say, that's a topic for another lesson, but sticking to the point, we're going to bring it out. This is what I was speaking on earlier. This is Numbers 1 and 18. And this is why it matters for an Israelite woman not to be, y'all ain't supposed to be dealing with heathen men because you're giving birth to their seed. This is Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. You don't see nothing about the mother in there, man, because ultimately the mother does not matter. She doesn't carry the seed. According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So when you think about it, man, the Israelite, and I've heard the elders and some of the apostles say this, man, the Israelite woman came from the Israelite man. It ain't the other way around. That's why you're not the God, Eve. You're not, the black woman is not a God. You know what I'm saying? The so-called black man gave way for her. Y'all came from us. The Lord created the Israelite man first, man, and then through us dealing with these, with women of the other nations. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how, the Israelite woman came about. Because if I'm not mistaken, what you did have, what I'm getting at is basically there was an Israelite man before there was an Israelite woman. And that's as simple as I can put it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord was always dealing with a particular seed line, and you women come from that seed line. Y'all didn't, but I ain't gonna confuse myself or confuse anybody else. Hey man, I said what I said through the Spirit, man. If you can receive it, you can receive it. That's why you have patriarchs, not matriarchs. Whom does the scriptures put importance on? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He doesn't put the importance on the women that they dealt with, you know? This is Matthew 13, and start from verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables. Behold, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls come. No, Salakia, this isn't the one that I needed. This is the parable I'm looking for. Matthew 13 and 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Meaning our seed or our bloodline was polluted by men of the other nations actually coming into our women, mainly Esau, the so-called white man during slavery. And it says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go up and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. So we not fit for that job. You know what I'm saying? We might make a mistake, man. That's why the Lord ain't, he ain't put the spirit on us to go out there and discern every Israelite that ain't an Israelite. It says, let them both grow together until the harvest. In the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them out, but gather the wheat into my barn. And it says so this is that was pretty much it, man. Hey, when the Lord comes back on that great and terrible day of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, hey, the holy angels, they're gonna be putting to death the tares, man. and saving. Hey, they gonna do the separating them. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna do that separation himself. You know, so you women that have heathen children, don't expect them to be spared. You know, they will be put to death, man. You know what I'm saying? A heathen child is not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for this lesson. Hey, Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. You know, double honors again to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in these scriptures. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Until the next one, I say shalom.